What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown and the Wade Report and nextgenheights.com. And it is Wednesday, November the 26th, 2025, 7 a.m. Central, and we are live on the Daily Climb. Yesterday, HP put out their earnings, and the CEO said something that every American worker needs to hear. Enrique Lores, CEO of HP, the company that makes your printers, your laptops, your computers, he announced 4,000 to 6,000 jobs will be cut by 2028. But here's what he said. He said this, quote, "We need to start from redesigning the process. And once we know how the process could be redone using AI, using agentic AI, it can really have a very significant impact." Agentic AI. That's the new word that many people are talking about it in the AI world. I want you guys to type agentic in the chat if you've heard this word at your company. Type it in the chat. Agentic AI. What does that mean? Well, that means that AI doesn't just answer questions. AI that does your job. That's what it means. Then he said this: we have a significant opportunity to embed AI in everything that we do and transform the company. Everything, he said. The same day, Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company, said this: Blackwell chips, Blackwell sales are off the charts. Cloud GPUs are sold out. Sold out. 57 billion in revenue last quarter. 65 billion expected next quarter. AI companies making record money. AI companies cutting record workers. Same day, consumer confidence crash. Second lowest since April. Below recession threshold for 10 straight months. I want you guys to type 10 straight months in the chat. But here's where it gets very interesting. A recruiter in Chicago published a story this morning in the Business Insider about two people that he hired who bombed their interviews. 6 months later, both were in the top 10% of performers. His quote: "Everybody has a story." That's what he said. HP cutting 6,000, Jensen saying sold out, consumer confidence crashing, but a recruiter in Chicago giving people second chances. This is the Daily Climb. I want you guys to climb with me in today's show. Who's all in the house? We got Ant Dog in the house. We got the Life of Cam in the house. We got Buy the Book is in the house. We got Big Suggs in the house. Good morning, guys. Good morning. We're going to have some fun this morning. All right, ladder climbers. Let me show you what HP's CEO actually said, because this is the playbook that's coming to your company. It's the playbook. You guys get it firsthand here on the show. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper on HP, because what happened yesterday is not just about HP. This is the template. Tuesday, November the 25th, HP reports earnings. Revenue, 14.64 billion. Beat expectations, crushing it, doing all kinds of good stuff over there. But then the CEO got on the call and he showed every company in America exactly how to do this. Step one, you want to run pilots. Enrique Lores said this: not improve with AI at the center of it. Step three, deploy agentic AI. This is all, everything that he's saying, okay? Everything that he's saying. Deploy agentic AI. He used that word specifically. Deploy agentic AI. Once we know how the process could be redone using AI, using agentic AI, and it could really have a very significant impact. Agentic AI, let me tell you what that means, guys. Agentic AI, let me tell you what that means, guys. Regular AI, it answers questions. You ask ChatGPT something, it responds. That's regular AI, okay? Agentic AI It does tasks. It doesn't wait for you to ask. It takes action on its own. It completes workflows. It makes decisions. That's your job. That's your job. So step 4, cut the headcount. 4,000 to 6,000 jobs by 2028. That's 10% of their workforce gone. Step 5, save $1 billion. HP said that they expect $1 billion in savings by 2028. Step 6, transform the company. His exact words: we have a significant opportunity to embed AI in everything that we do and transform the company. In 2026, we intend to grow faster than the market. Grow faster with 6,000 fewer people. I want you guys to type template in the chat if you see this coming to your company. Okay? Type template in the chat if you see this coming to your company. This is what was said. This is exactly what was said. Okay? Big Sug says, oh no. NC Worker says, good morning, everyone. Prescott says, woof. Life of Cam says he's ready for Thanksgiving. Okay. Life of Cam says template. Big Sug says template. I see him coming in the chat. Well, yeah, because this is the playbook. HP just showed every CEO in America how to do it. 2 years of pilots, redesign the process, deploy agentic AI, cut headcount, save $1 billion, transform the company. And HP is not alone. Let me show you who else is saying the quiet part out loud. Klarna. We talked about them. We always talk about Klarna. They cut 40% of their workforce. AI is handling customer service. Salesforce, 4,000 customer support roles gone. CEO says AI can handle 50% of the company work. UPS, 48,000 jobs cut this year. Powered by automation. That was the quote. ServiceNow CEO Bill McDermott said this in July. They work hard 24/7. You don't have to pay them. They don't need any lunch, and they don't need or have any health care, any benefits. They don't need lunch. They don't have health care. He's talking about AI agents replacing workers. This is what was said. I want you guys to type no lunch in the chat if that quote makes you feel some kind of way. No lunch. God dang. No healthcare. Coffee's good this morning, y'all. But I see it, okay? Here's the number. 48,414 U.S. workers lost their jobs in 2025, with AI explicitly cited as the reason. 31,000 of those in October alone, 1 month. 31,000 people, AI is the reason for their job loss, okay? That's what it is. And here's what's crazy. HP stock, it dropped 5% after hours, down 25% this year. Even investors didn't love this announcement, but HP's CEO doesn't care because he's looking at a template. He says, spend 60 million on restructuring, save $1 billion by 2028. The math works for them, not for you. That's what it is. The math works for them, not for you. That's segment 1, guys. HP showed the playbook. Every CEO is watching this. Every one of them. They listen. They see what's going on. They say, you know what? I can do that a little bit better. That's a good playbook right there. Just think about it, right? If you're in sports and you see an offensive coordinator winning, what are you going to do? You're going to try to copy the playbook. That's what happens in the business world as well. So this may be coming to a company near you. All right. I want you guys just to know that. Now, while HP was announcing these cuts, while Jensen was saying sold out, something else was happening to workers into the markets. I want to show you guys the contradiction here. Okay. I'm going to show you guys the contradiction. So Monday, November the 24th, let me show you what happened. Okay. Jensen Huang said this about NVIDIA's Blackwell chips. Blackwell sales are off the charts. Cloud GPUs are sold out. Sold out. 57 billion in revenue. Q3 beat their own guidance of 54 billion. Q4 projection $65 billion. That's what they said. Okay. And here's the kicker. Blackwell chips are now entirely made in America, Arizona, in a Taiwan semiconductor facility. No tariff issues or anything like that. Made in America. TSMC. No more done in Taiwan. TSMC is still helping out with those chips, but they are doing it in Arizona. But then something happened. The information published a report. Meta is in a discussion with Google to potentially spend billions on Google's AI chips for Meta's data centers. NVIDIA stock dropped 3% in one day. NVIDIA responded on X, on Twitter, and said this: NVIDIA is a generation ahead of the industry. It's the only platform that runs every AI model. We are delighted by Google's success. We are delighted. That's corporate speak for we're worried now. Oh, man. That's what's happening. They're worried. Google responded. We are experiencing accelerated demand for both our custom TPUs and NVIDIA GPUs. We are committed to supporting both. Translation, the chip war is heating up, and NVIDIA might not be the only game in town much longer. Meanwhile, Alphabet, Google's parent, is up 17% in 7 days, just past Microsoft. Crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Just past Microsoft. The number 3 most valuable company in the world. Gemini 3, their new AI model, it launched to rave reviews. Berkshire Hathaway reviewed a significant stake in Google. So here's the picture. NVIDIA saying sold out, dropping 3%. Google coming for their crown, up 17%. AI companies fighting over chips, where workers get cut. That's the contradiction. That's the contradiction, guys. Now, let me show you what happened to consumers. All right. Let me show you what happened to consumers. I want you guys to see this. Consumers, the Consumer Confidence Index. The Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index was released on Monday, November the 25th. Okay. 88.7. Down 6.8 points from October. Second lowest since April. All right, 88.7. You see that number on the screen right there? And this is the second lowest since April. But here's the number that matters. Only 1% of consumers said business conditions are good. 1%, down from 20.7% in October. I want you guys to type 1% in the chat. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. Now, many of you guys are probably like, Antoine, why do I care about this? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you right now. Only 27.6% said jobs are plentiful, down from 28.6%. Only 15.3% expect income increases, down from 18.2%. And here's the recession signal. The expectations index, 63.2. Now, why does that matter? Well, when this index drops below 80, it signals a recession is coming. It's been below 80 for 10 consecutive months. 10 consecutive months. Type recession in the chat if you feel it coming. Type it in the chat. I'm going to see it. That's a long time for a trend. I see a lot of these coming in right now. And guess what? Economists agree. The economists agree to guys. They agree to this. Recession probability is very high. Goldman Sachs, 30% recession odds. JP Morgan, 40% recession probability. Moody's Analytics, Mark Zandi, 49% in the next 12 months. His quote, the economy will be most vulnerable to a recession towards the end of this year and early next year. That's right now. That's right now. We're living in it right now. But here's the market picture. Tuesday, November the 25th. Okay. Dow up 64 points, 1.4%, 47,112. 3 consecutive days of gains. S&P 500, up 0.91%, 6,076.5. NASDAQ up 0.7%, 23,025. Markets are up. Consumer confidence is down. Recession odds are rising. The Federal Reserve, 81% probability of a rate cut in December. Why are they cutting rates if everything is looking so good? Consumer confidence is down and the market's up. Because everybody watches the market, right? And they say, oh man, everybody's making kind of money. If the market's going up, people are like, oh, things are good. That's not the scenario anymore. We are in a completely new world, guys. So why are they cutting rates? Because the labor market is weak. They know it. Wall Street knows it. Main Street knows it. There is a big disconnect, and the disconnect is real. I want you guys to type disconnect if you feel it. The gap between Wall Street and your reality. There's a big disconnect. And people are feeling it, and they're talking about it in the news, and they're talking about it on TikTok, and they're talking about it on Instagram, and they're talking about it on YouTube. And you guys are letting me know by typing in the chat if you feel it or not. That's segment 2. Stay with me for segment 3. A big disconnect. Now I need to show you what's happening to young workers, to the entry-level workers, because the pipeline is breaking and nobody is talking about it except us. Except us on the Daily Climb. You got to remember, we were once entry-level employees. Well, Signifier, a venture capital firm, they analyzed data from major tech companies since 2019 to 2094. Let's say 2024, excuse me. But they found 50% dropped in new job openings for people with less than 1 year of experience. A 50%. Okay. That's not one industry. That's across all industries. Sales, marketing, engineering, HR, operations, design, finance, legal, all of them. A 50% drop. 50% fewer entry-level jobs. Let me show you what happened at Meta. Okay. January 2023, after recession, Meta, big company. Everybody want to work for Meta. Hired a whole bunch of people during the pandemic. All of the tech companies did it. But young professionals made up 15% of Meta's workforce in 2023. Young professionals, okay? August 2025. 6.8%. God dang. 6.8%. 15 to 6.8. 15% to 6.8. That's more than half gone. I want you guys to type Meta in the chat. And it's not just tech. Workers aged 20 to 24. Unemployment rate, 9.2%, highest since 2015. Young college graduates' unemployment rates rarely observed among past college cohorts, barring during a recession. We're not officially in a recession, but young workers are living in one. Young workers can't get jobs. Young workers can't work. Young workers went to school, and now they're being told that their jobs or their degrees are no longer a professional degree. Now they're being told they can't get a job. Now they're being told that they don't have the experience. Now they're being told you can't be hired. Okay. Here's what business leaders are saying. 25% of business leaders say AI can perform most entry-level work. 75% of Gen Z believes AI will reduce entry opportunities. That's 75% of them. They already know within 5 years. And here's the jobless boom. GDP is rising. Jobs are not. Year over year payroll growth, 0.5%, down from 1.7% at the start of the year. Average monthly job additions, last 3 months, 29,300. That's it. And it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Jobs aren't being created. Long-term unemployment, 27 weeks or more. 25.7%, up from 21.5% a year ago. When long-term unemployment crosses 25% historically, a recession follows. We're past that line. We talked about that on yesterday. And here's what's breaking: the corporate ladder. Many people got into corporate and said, we're going to climb the corporate ladder. You know, I'm going to work this company for 5 years. I'm going to move this company. I'm going to stay there for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. The corporate ladder, get to that money. I believed in a corporate ladder. I still do. But for my own company. But HP CEO Antonio Neri started as a call center rep. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon started as a truck unloader. GM CEO Mary Barra started on the assembly line at 18. Those paths may no longer exist. Matt Shulman, founder of Pave, he worked at Facebook and Microsoft early in his career. He said this: a company like Meta, their whole talent thesis was to go after universities, get the smart 21-year-olds and then train them up, get the training wheels going and all that. But the training wheels are gone now. The training wheels are gone. This is what the pipeline used to look like. Big companies like Meta and Google and so forth used to go to those top universities, get the smart 21-year-olds out of college, and then train them up. And next you know, the company would do good. That's what carried companies for a very long time. But guess what? The training wheels are gone. Companies aren't training anymore. They want experienced workers or AI. That's the new reality. That's the reality, November 26, 2025. That's the crisis. That's the crisis that we are in right now. But before we get to the solutions, because you know we get to solutions, I want you guys to hit that like button. If you are new to this channel, you like this sort of content, hit the subscribe button as well. Okay? If you guys are getting value from this, if this workforce intelligence is giving you value that you need, make sure you hit the like button. Do it right now. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and turn on the notification bell. Many people don't know, but we go live every weekday, 7 a.m. Central. This is not CNBC. This is not Bloomberg. This is your daily climb, and it's for your career. This is the intelligence that you need to make better decisions. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's continue, okay? Now I want to tell you guys a story. It's going to be a good one right here. Stick with me, okay? This was published this morning about a recruiter in Chicago who gave 2 people a second chance. All right? Greg Salkowicz, Chicago. Looks like he's from Chicago, ain't it? Look at him. Looks like he's from Chicago. Looks like a Chicago guy. I wouldn't consider him to be a Greg. He looks like a Preston to me. It's more like a Preston. But his name is Greg Salkowicz from Chicago. He's a sales recruiter, founder of Right Choice Resources. Great name, too. Right Choice Resources. Well, Business Insider published a story this morning, November 26th. He was talking about 2 of his best hires. And here's the thing. Both of them bombed their interviews. Ain't that something? Let me tell you about the first candidate, he says. The first candidate had to give a presentation, read off note cards, word for word. That's what he did. Just imagine you're going to have to go, you got to give a presentation and you're just, word for word. There's a 40% chance of a recession probability, Moody's Analytics, and you're not even looking up. Or you can give them the AI voice like I do. Had to give a presentation, read off note cards, word for word, didn't look up, didn't engage, just read. People think I'm AI. But just imagine having, interviewing somebody and they read off note cards. Okay? Had to give a presentation. Any of that sort of stuff, right? Right? Just weird. Doesn't work. The person read off the note cards, word for word, didn't look up, didn't engage, just read. No bachelor's degree, job hopper, nothing special on the resume. Everyone wanted to pass. But Greg, this recruiter right here, asked a question. Why did you read from the note cards? The candidate said, I'm a perfectionist. I really want this job. I don't want to miss anything. That's what the candidate said. I want you guys to type perfectionist in the chat if you relate to this. But Greg dug deeper. He asked about the degree. And here's what he learned. The candidate dropped out of school to earn money, to take care of his sick single mom. He didn't finish college because he was taking care of his mother. I want you guys to type mom in the chat if that hits you. Greg said this. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. That's what he said. Okay? Now, the second candidate, nervous, shaken throughout the entire interview, couldn't stop fidgeting. You know what that feels like. You know what that feels like. You had too much coffee. Nervous, anxious, sweating. I get like that. My nose start to sweat. Armpits get wet. Can't stop moving. But the person couldn't stop fidgeting. Voice trembling, had a little crack in it, but he showed up and he showed up early to every round. He acted professionally. He took notes. He asked questions. He sent thorough thank you letters. And when they asked about the nerves, he said this, I really want this job. Type, I really want this job in the chat if that's you. Type it in the chat if that's you. That's what he said. I see these coming in, okay? A lot of us are just nervous candidates, okay? But here's the thing. They took a chance on him. He was a college athlete. Greg figured athletes are competitive. He just needed some reps. So what happened? 6 months later, both candidates, top 10% of sales performers. Top 10%. The guy who read off the note cards, top 10%. The guy who was shaking, top 10%. This is what Greg said. Greg said this. When I see a concern like job hopping or reading off note cards, the most interesting part is asking the candidate why. There's usually a good reason. Then he said this. The interview process is tough. Sometimes people need a second chance. Sometimes people need a second chance. And finally, the biggest challenge is finding somebody who will give you a shot. That's the biggest challenge, is finding somebody who will give you a shot. I want you guys to type shot in the chat if you just need someone to give you a shot. That's what this job market is making people feel like right now. Just give me a shot, man. Give me a shot. That's the market. 0.4% chance of getting a job. 242 applications per opening. There are people like Greg who look past the nervous handshakes, who ask why, who give second chances. Everybody has a story. You might be the nervous candidate. You might be the one without the degree. You might have a story that's nobody asked you about yet. Guys, that's segment 4. Okay. That's segment 4. Now, let me show you 3 more people who are winning right now in this economy because the path still exists. You just have to see them. Jay Gingelbach, 41 years old, Boulder, Colorado. Business Insider published his story this morning. Good one, too. Got a chance to get up this morning, drink my coffee, read about Greg Engelbach. I'm like, I got to bring this to the Ladder Climbers this morning. He joined Google straight out of college. Looked like a Googler, right? Look at him. Looks like a Googler. Straight out of college in 2006. Greg's my age, man. Got to give Greg the shout out, Greg. Keep doing it, man. Stayed at Google for 12 years. Then he moved to Verily. That's another Alphabet company. Total compensation, guys, is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. I even got to throw some sound effects on this one. Guess what his total compensation was? $700,000 a year. God damn! I want you guys to type 700K in the chat. But here's the thing. He was miserable. He said this: people used to have lunch with me for fun, but after I became a manager, eating with me was seen as networking. No peer relationships, just isolation. The 2023 layoffs hit. He said this: they created a tangible shift in tone among employees. He watched big tech change, and he decided to leave. $700,000 a year gone. I want you guys to type courage in the chat. He took a job at Vercel, or smaller company. Individual contributor, not a manager. This is what he said. After a long stint of feeling like I wasn't doing what I really wanted, I now feel like I'm solving hard problems again. And here's the kicker. Vercel just announced a funding round, tripled their evaluation to $9 billion. His equity substantially impacted. He said this: I realized money doesn't buy happiness. It was like breaking out of golden handcuffs. I want you guys to type golden handcuffs if you feel trapped by your salary. Type it in the chat. There's a lot of people making some good money. A lot of you are making good money, but you feel stuck. Jay proved sometimes down is up. Sometimes less money equals more fulfillment. Second story, Jacqueline Gathers. Tell you about Jacqueline. 64 years old now. Started her business at 55. She worked for NYC Housing Authority for 30 years. Third generation civil servant. Then her husband, Joseph, got brain cancer. She took early retirement at 55 to take care of him. Before he died, he purchased a home inspection franchise, pillar to post. After he passed, she thought about selling it back to the people who he bought it from. Instead, she launched it in his legacy. I want you guys to type legacy in the chat. Here's the thing. She had zero experience. Had to get a state license. Had to do all the training. All 55. At 55. And she's a black woman in an industry where most home inspectors don't look like me, she said. So she said she found her niche. First-time home buyers in Brooklyn. Her quote was this: people were asking for That black lady inspector in Brooklyn. I want you guys to type Brooklyn in the chat. 7 years successful. She takes 2 international trips per year in her husband's honor. She said this: sometimes in life, you get curveballs and you just have to keep pushing. 55, 0 experience, 7 years later, running a business. It's never too late. It's never too late. Third story I want to share with you guys this morning. Devang Sharma, Meta, software engineer, Toronto. He got laid off in 2023 in the Meta layoffs. He's an immigrant. He said this: it really was challenging to deal with, especially as an immigrant. But here's what saved him. He had a permanent residency. He wasn't dependent on Meta for his visa. That gave him options. He got several job offers within 1 month. Crazy, huh? That was 2023. 1 month, while others are taking 6 months a year. Then 3 years later, he went back to Meta, more senior than he left. This is his quote: "There's always a chance of layoffs. However, I saw coming back as a trade-off. Laid off, come back, more senior." I want you guys to type Boomerang in the chat if you've done this before yourself. I know a lot of boomerangers. They go to a company and they quit and go to another company and they come back. Oh, you know what, man? Grass ain't greener over here. Coming back, boomerang. Well, those are 3 stories. Jay quit $700,000 a year to find fulfillment. Jacqueline pivoted at 55 with 0 experience. Devang got laid off and came back stronger. The path exists. You just have to see them. Now, before we talk about actions, let me tell you about the community. Okay, that's in this for you and in this with you. We got a Patreon where we go deeper on the weekends, every weekend, to do deep dives, discuss 60-day plans, 90-day plans. We discuss your next year's goals. We discuss what's going on in the market. We discuss AI. We discuss exactly how to get a job. We discuss how to improve your resume, all the things that you need. We break down certification paths. We analyze specific companies. Saturday calls, direct access to me. You can ask questions, get specific answers for your situation. All right. Also, we have a newsletter in the link in the description of this video. It's a recap of this show. Full recap. So you don't even have to take notes. If you hear something on the show, you're like, you know what? I got to go research this. I got to see what Antoine's talking about. You don't got to worry about that. It's going to get to your inbox. You get it at 11:30 Central every single Monday through Friday. Sign up for it. It's free. Those resources may come in handy. You can forward it to somebody else. Okay? A lot of times we come across information and we forget about it. Well, this is a way that you come across information and it's right there in your hands. Every single morning, this research lands in your inbox. That's the intelligence that you need to make decisions. Sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Links are in the description. The Patreon link is in the description as well. All right. Now, let me show you what's changing because the great freeze is starting to thaw. And I got 3 deadlines that you need to hit, okay? Stay with me on this segment. ZipRecruiter, annual employee survey. They surveyed 1,500 hiring decision makers. So managers, people in authority to make these, to make your lives easier, give you a job. Okay. September 2025, a couple months ago. Here's what they found. 65% of U.S. businesses plan to increase hiring in 2026. I want you guys to type 63% in the chat. Nicole Bachu, ZipRecruiter labor economist. He said this, or she said this, excuse me. The great freeze is giving away to the great thaw. And the most prepared employers are already taking action. The great thaw by sector. Construction, 77% planning to expand. Technology, 71% planning to expand. Transportation, 70% planning on expanding. Healthcare, 68% planning on expanding. Professional services, 64%. And here's what's interesting. Entry-level focus, 31% of employers plan to increase entry-level hires. That's the highest category. I want you guys to type entry-level in the chat. So the freeze is thawing, but you have to be ready. Skills-based hiring, 85% of companies are using it, up 81 last year. 45% of companies are eliminating degree requirements. IBM, Delta, Google, Bank of America, where Marcus is going, all drop degree requirements. The proof that certifications work. That's the proof. Certifications work, guys. CISM certification, $8,800 salary increase within 1 year. AWS Solutions Architect, $6,400 salary increase. 81% of certified professionals are employed, compared to 68% without certifications. Okay? If you guys are going to get certified, go and get certified. If you got certifications, type certified in the chat. If you need one, type need one in the chat. If you don't have any certifications, type need one. If you have certifications, type certifications in the chat. I got 3, and these 3 come with deadlines for you, okay? Action number 1, before Friday, Full Stack Academy has a boot camp, $3,000 off. That's $10,995 instead of $13,995. Deadline November the 28th. That's Friday, 2 days. Type Friday in the chat so that you remember. Action number 2, by December the 31st, Microsoft Fabric Data Days, running through end of the year. 100% free certification vouchers. DP 600, DP 700, each worth $300 completely free. Register, attend sessions, take an exam by December the 31st. Link will be in the Discord, or not the Discord, the newsletter. Okay. Action number 3, through February 2025 or 2026, excuse me. AWS certification promotion. 25% off certification exams plus free retake if you don't pass. First attempt deadline, February the 15th, 2026. First retake deadline, March 31st. Type AWS in the chat. Those are your 3 actions. Full stack, if you want to go to the full stack technical path before Friday, Microsoft Fabric by December the 31st, AWS by February. Okay. Let me bring this home for you guys. Because we started with HP, and I want to end it with HP. HP's CEO said the quiet part out loud on yesterday. Enrique Lores said the quiet part out loud. We need to redesign the process using agentic AI. 6,000 workers will be cut to save $1 billion. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, said they are sold out. $65 billion next quarter. Consumer confidence crash, 10 months below recession threshold. Entry-level jobs are down 50%. Youth unemployment, 9.2. The training wheels are gone. That's the crisis, guys. But a recruiter in Chicago published a story this morning about two people who bombed their interviews. One read off note cards, couldn't speak clearly, couldn't look at people in the eye. The other one was shaking the entire time. 6 months later, they both are top 10% in sales, crushing it. Everybody has a story. The biggest challenge is finding somebody who will give you a shot. Jay, who we talked about, quit $700,000. That's how much he was making, $700,000. He quit it, got rid of it. He was making $700,000 a year, guys, to find fulfillment. He went to Vercel. They just tripled their valuation. He has equity into the company. He's making a lot more money. Jacqueline pivoted at 55 in her husband's honor. Zero experience. 7 years later, she is running a business that people in Brooklyn are saying, I want her. Devang, he got laid off, came back in a more senior role. The paths exist. 63% of employers are planning to hire in 2026. The great freeze is unthawing. Full stack ends on Friday. Microsoft Fabric ends December 31st. AWS runs through February. Okay? You might be the nervous candidate. You might be the one without the degree. You might have a story that nobody's asked about yet. Everybody has a story. The question is, will someone give you a shot? Position yourself now so when the thaw comes, you are ready. That's my message for today, okay? This is Wednesday, November the 26th. This is the Daily Climb. Guys, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I have a call to get on. But before you go, one more time, 92 members plus in the Patreon, weekend deep dives, Saturday calls, sector breakdown, certification roadmaps, direct access to me, patreon.com/Black Heights. Okay? Check out the newsletter. Link it to the description of this video. It is your research or my research in your inbox every single morning. If you need coaching, check out the link, nextgenheights.com. You can book a coaching session with me. Make sure you sign up. Both links are in the description. You don't have to do this alone. You can join us tomorrow morning. We will be live on Thanksgiving, 7 a.m. Central. New intelligence, new opportunities, new strategies. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, guys. I will see you then. This is the Daily Climb. Peace out now. Bye-bye.